I have decided to have 15 minutes experiment at the end of my session. Before that, let's go through some few steps which I have found useful in my inner journey. And you may find them useful. If you find them useful, you can pick them up. Before really going there, just a quick glance about the self-esteem and arrogance is, of course, answer that. What I feel is, self-esteem is, I am quite clear, comfortable, and clear about what is being done, or who am I, or whatever I am doing. And due to that, I am unaffected by criticisms or praises, either way. And I am being me only. I am not comparing myself with anybody, not trying to show myself better. Whereas in arrogance, I am trying to prove myself better than somebody, mostly undermining that other person. So I think there is a fundamental difference between self-esteem and arrogance. This is my one perception which I got. And self-esteem or self-confidence, it comes through a lot of things. One of the most important thing is character. Character, that means I am not deceiving my own self. Before deceiving others, I am deceiving myself. And which self? My conscience and what I am doing in relative self. If I am deceiving myself, I will have no self-esteem. So I think that's a morality and sincerity part in relative interconnected living. And of course, knowing who am I, that's the ultimate. But these are the twin pillars of human life which can give one strength or self-esteem. And if I don't have that, no matter how many dollars I have, whatever the position I have, but I may have the self-esteem. May have the low self-esteem. So having said that, let me go to the part of the inner journey. And one more thing, of course, that has been well talked already, but when people are talking to their own selves, there are two parts. One is desirable, another is undesirable. Our teenager boys and girls, of course, they tell to themselves that our parents are not good, dating, dancing, drinking, everything is correct, fight the world. That should not be the case. That's very dangerous. So it should be with wisdom. So in this session, I wish to be interactive with each other. All of you may be having some process of inner journey, and let's interact with each other. What we have found useful during our lifespan so far, our progress or our difficulties, what we aim at, and whether we can have mutual exchange of solutions or guidance. So let it be a little more interactive session, right? Somebody in the morning session asked me the question about religion and spirituality. Religion, of course, is religion. If the science behind religion can be opened out, if the science behind doing anything is opened out, I think everything functions very well. But as long as there is no correct understanding behind doing anything, probably it falls into rituals or traditions which do not serve the purpose. So sometimes our mental perception about religion goes with do's and don'ts, rituals and traditions, which of course I believe it's not true, but this is the general concept. And it may have, along with the doership, ego and boundaries. Whereas spirituality is the science of self, non-self, almost everything related to life and living. And its approach to pure self or higher self, as you say, whatever leads me to approach to my pure self or higher self. Rituals or traditions are not mandatory in spirituality. Having said that, again I am saying that whatever, suppose I am going and bowing down to some idol, it may be looked upon as a ritual, but if I have understanding, when I bow down, what happens? My ego goes down, my inner understanding may open out, I may become humble, and whenever I am going to something which I believe to be ideal, I am asking that let my self be rise to that level. So it also has a science, if it is understood properly, but otherwise holistic inner science is free of all. Yoga. So many people are rightly devoting time to yoga. I'm just going briefly over that. Yoga are there at three levels: body, speech and mind. Body yoga, I myself am trying to spare some time to do yoga because now I'm 54 and I want my joints and other things to be good. Now this is a fact I'm sharing with you because machine is a machine. If I don't care for it, it will not serve me. So it's good. But I have to find what is good for me in what limits. I may not be copying others, but I may take good parts, good asanas and do it for myself for whatever time available to me. But the basic of yoga is really to purify the reflective consciousness. The yogas are meant, you start with the body level, go to speech or mantras, go with your mind, observation. But ultimately it is meant, Patanjali yoga, it is meant to restrain my wandering reflective consciousness which is moving and wandering to so many places. I want to bring it back to my higher state of being or maybe to my pure state of being. So unless that objective is known to me, probably I am not reaching to the core or essence or the ultimate aim which it should have been given to me. And today, ultimately, it is the Atma Yoga. Yoga is to join with something. So unless I join with my pure self, unless I join with my real self, the ultimate purpose of the yoga is not served. Though it may serve me good at a body level, it may serve me good at a speech level, but it may not serve the purpose of cleaning my reflective consciousness or joining myself with my real state of being or the pure state of being. Now, what is the difficulty in today's time? As I have perceived it, you may have perceived it differently. Suppose a child has a chocolate in his hand and I am trying to pursue, okay, I will give you a Kit Kat, give me that chocolate, leave that chocolate. Would the child leave that chocolate? No. But no sooner I give Kit Kat, I will not be required to tell him anything. He will grab the Kit Kat and leave the chocolate. What's the science here? If my reflective consciousness, which is always in search of some happiness, gets to the superior or higher level of happiness, immediately it will compare the two and leave the lower level of happiness. So if I want to bring my wandering reflective consciousness from outside to within my own home, I need to make it taste the real happiness with the pure self or the higher happiness with the pure self. And that's what happened with the holistic scientist to us, because when we met him, I was at the age of 18, and you can imagine what is the age of youth, and all sorts of distractions and temptations may be there. But no sooner we were able to taste the real bliss within, then he used to ask, now how many times you are required to go to movies and hotels? And we were saying hardly it is required because there is very more happiness, and in fact I feel like losing when I am going outwards to fetch it. So that's the secret of yoga, that if I can find real happiness within myself, the yoga itself becomes effortless yoga, the ultimate state of yoga. Meditation, another very interesting area. Yes, it is good that I should be with myself. Always I am outside. Close the eyes, be with yourself. Try. That's a good beginning, I would say. Very good beginning. It's a required beginning. You will have the experiment for 10 to 15 minutes. But how much can I achieve? No sooner I sit in a temple, no sooner I try to meditate and I try to remain within myself, my reflective consciousness starts wandering at all the places, goes to my friend's place, goes to factory, goes to office, goes to mall and whatnot. No, more and more I try to keep within, more and more it may try to run out. That's one difficulty. But that answer I have already given. Another very important thing is meditation is a continuous state of being. This is useful first step. I would say it's a good step to focus, but really, right now we are meditating. And I'll tell how. So every moment of life, you are in one or other state of meditation. And which are those states of meditation described by the enlightened ones? Number one, self-disturbing, either that is Artha Dhyan, or disturbing to others, Raudra Dhyan, or a state of inner steadiness, equanimity, equipoise. You are clear, calm, happy, resolved within, Dharma Dhyan, or state of balance, or higher than that, Shukla Dhyan, or pure state of being. Routinely, most of the people are in first two, either self-disturbed, low self-esteem, whatever you say, guilt feeling, or disturbing to others, if they get to some correct understanding, goes effortlessly to third dharmajan or inner state of equanimity or resolved or balanced, happy within themselves, making others happy, whatever you say. And still, if one can get higher than that, or one is fortunate to be blessed, one can, doing all these activities, can be with the pure self-awareness that I am the pure self, knower and seer, and the relative self in that case, with a self-talk guidance. But now the self-talk occurs in light of enlightened wisdom or enlightened prajna or awakened living, and this also performs very well in all interconnected phases. So now we go to the what I have found some simple steps of my inner journey. As I had said in the morning, when I get or wake up in the morning, I have two prayers or two resolves with myself. Let my mind, speech, body not hurt any living being, even to slightest extent, because I don't want to be hurt. I wish to, and let my mind, body, speech make one and all happy. That is first resolve. Second is I wish to know who I am really, and for that I seek to see the Jnani or the experienced enlightened person who has the thorough experience of relative and real self, and with his instrumental help and guidance, I can start my experiment. I cannot come and operate on your eye, seeing Google videos and so many things. I have to be by side of a living expert surgeon to acquire that eye. Similarly is the case here. Then we come to 9 codes of conduct. Now in your leaflets, this is there if you can take out for a while. And I'll go over 1 or 2. I'll not go over all the 9. But this is just my inner prayers or inner decision or inner resolution. First is, O Supreme Self, or O Lord, whomsoever I believe in true, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength as would restrain me from hurting, causing someone to hurt, or supporting someone hurting even slightly the ego of any living being. Ego is his identity. I can exchange my views, but no sooner I try to put a blow on the ego, neither me, neither he will or she will be happy. And may you bless me with such an inner strength in the philosophy of relative pluralism or Sharvad, in thinking, speech and conduct, as would restrain me from hurting even slightly the ego of any living being. Similarly, second one is, O Lord, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength so as not to hurt, neither cause someone to hurt, nor support someone hurting even to the slightest extent, the foundation or viewpoint of any religion or faith. Because all religions or faiths have different beliefs and bases, and something like schools are required right from KG to PhD. You can't have only PhD class. Similarly, all different belief-based religions are required. Third, O Lord, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength as would restrain me from uttering untrue adverse things, from offending or showing disregard to any preacher, monk, nun or a religious head. Fourth, O Lord, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength as would not make me dislike or hate any living being to the slightest extent, neither cause anyone, neither support anyone doing so. Fifth, O Lord, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength as would restrain me from speaking, causing someone to speak, or supporting someone speaking harsh, hurtful language or language of rivalry to anyone. Give me inner strength to speak soft, sober, soothing language, even if someone speaks harsh, hurtful, egoistic or biting language. Sixth is, O Lord, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength as would restrain me having false desires, gestures or thoughts of perverted sensuality or passion towards any gender, male, female or neutral. Seventh is, O Lord, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength to control my excessive temptation towards any relish or taste of food. Give me the strength to take food having balance of all tastes. So in food, this was another extra point required, that one should take the balance of all the 6 tastes and not go behind only one taste. Eighth is, O Lord, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength as would restrain me from uttering untrue adverse things, from offending or showering disregard towards any being living or dead in one's presence or absence. And last is, O Lord, may you bless me with such an infinite inner strength for being instrumental in welfare of the world, that is common good of mankind as a whole. I think if this is taken as an indicator, the self-talk becomes very appropriate. That whatever I am doing or talking to my relative self or Shailesh, if my intention is clear, that I do not want to hurt anybody, I want to make somebody happy, and if possible, common welfare of the mankind, I think then the self-talk becomes very, very holistic. And at the end say that you have just to resolve, pray heartily and ask for inner strength 3 times a day. It should not be repeated mechanically, but should be kept at heart. It contains essence of all holy scriptures. You may ask for inner strength from whomsoever you believe in. That's fine, and there is explanation. So you just can go through how do you find this. And I think in present time, whatever can be my mistakes, it's just giving me the strength, inner asking that I may not enter into that. Another one is, as he was saying, I'm trying to connect to my higher self, my real self or my pure self. Each one of us is praying to our inner self, pure self only. O omnipotent, omniscient pure self, or you can say, O pure soul within me. You reside within all living beings as well as within me. While saying this, I am looking inside, pure self residing within me. My real form is the same as yours. My real form is Shuddhatma or pure soul self. O pure soul self, with utmost devotion and oneness, I bow to you. My relative self, I am bowing to the pure self within. I confess unto you all mistakes that I have committed in my ignorant state. I sincerely repent for these mistakes and ask for your forgiveness. O God, do please forgive me and give me the inner strength not to repeat the same mistakes. Here I can say the mistakes committed by me during the day and just can apologize and decide not to do it again. O pure soul self, please bless us all with such grace that this separation of mind from you disappears and I attain oneness with you. May I remain one with you all the times. If I can remain one with my pure self, my job is done. And further is divine cleansing process. Now, here somebody asked me a question. That if I see that the mistake has been committed by me, don't my self-esteem go down, or don't I have the burden of guilt feeling? No, it works other way around. Because it's something like if the dirt is lying at my house and if I see, do I get rid of the dirt or do I get dirty? So here, as soon as I'm seeing the mistake in the other part, me as a seer is different, and even though I don't realize it, seeing the mistake, I am automatically on the process of getting rid of it or cleaning it. So what is that divine cleansing process? Suppose I happen to tell Rajnibai something hurting, that oh, you did not do well and something. No sooner I realize that I should not have done this, as again in the background of 9 code of conduct, what I would do is, in presence of, in witness of whomsoever I believe into as a supreme self or pure self or Lord, whatever you say, because by saying so my inner machinery will get balanced. I go to pure self residing within Rajnibai, which is totally free of my mind, body, speech, name and name belonging attachments and all the karmic bonds. And I, within my heart, I confess that this I should not have spoken to you in such hurting way. I apologize for that and I decide not to do it again. Please give me the inner strength. This does 2 jobs. Number 1, as soon as I am doing within my heart, it takes off my mental burden. It stops bugging me. I regain my normalcy, happiness and harmony back, because now I am no more in the opinion or in the side of the mistake. Secondly, my vibration, my cordless vibrations go to him and his mind also becomes altered. And in today's time, with the cell phones and every gadget, we can realize that if the things are going to the other part of the world, this in presence of pure self definitely goes and it works. So this is a divine cleansing process which is helping us a great deal to go to higher states of being and to get rid of whatever the weaknesses occur. I would humbly suggest that those whosoever feel that this science has something to offer to their happiness, something to offer to reach to their higher state of being, can keep in touch by some reading, touch of some interactive satsang. Because what happens is, today we are in a very different atmosphere, very uplifted and whatnot. You remember after 3 days we are in there and we will be covered by so many other things. So to keep it going, some touch is required in some or other way. And this is what I mean by awakened living or awakened consciousness. As he rightly said, most of us are consciously sleeping, or sleeping in a part of consciousness, if I put it right, in a right perspective. So this is awakened living or awakened conscious living, as I would say. Now before we go to the experiment, I have 3-4 minutes. So the part which I had left, let me take you there, my inner journey. This I had already dealt with. So self-realization or initiation, at my age of 18, way back in 1977, I was fortunate to be exposed to this. And I experienced that it was a divine experiment conducted by His Holiness Enlightened Holistic Scientist, who had a state of being that even though living with his mind, body, speech like us as a householder, from within he was totally different, meaning thereby he was always stabilized in the pure state of being, and due to that all his actions and interactions were totally different. So I underwent that experiment, and what happened? The transformation and experience, that is my journey, my wrong belief was fractured. So far I was believing that I am Shailesh and I am doer and that whatnot. That was fractured or changed to right belief, and right belief was set in that I am, by relative viewpoint I am Shailesh, but by real viewpoint I am pure self. So from the Bahiratma, that means I was always looking out, I was always looking at others, my reflective consciousness were always wandering out. Now it became Antaratma. My focus came to inside, and now it's a journey towards Paramatma, means the ultimate state of being. Inner bliss started, and because of this taste of inner bliss, which was far more superior than all the happiness which I was experiencing throughout till now, my wandering reflective consciousness, which was wandering at so many places, started returning back to my home, and it by itself it started stabilizing in the pure self. So I have experienced all throughout these 35 years that I have not to struggle with my reflective consciousness. Automatically it stays within, automatically it stays focused. And prajna or enlightened wisdom, that is ever functioning awareness, self-functioning awareness with a discriminatory alertness came in to act that what should be doing, I should be doing. So that awakened living with continuous awareness started, and to help this take me through my all life phases, because my study was continued. I finished my studentship, then I started practice, I am still practicing, I am doing all the household jobs. Now how to stay within with this awareness? So I was giving simple 5 precepts, and these 5 precepts are: one is relative viewpoint, that by relative viewpoint I am talking to you right now, and my real self is just knowing and seeing, and I am experiencing that by relative viewpoint all of you are truth seekers, and by real self viewpoint all of you are pure self, just as mine or just as what I had experienced in His Holiness Dadaji. So both the viewpoints function parallelly. So this gives me a very good vision. My patients do not appear to me as patients only, because relatively they are my patients, really they are pure self. So that makes me totally on a different plane of dealing with them, and they also feel homely with me. My staff is also, by relative viewpoint my staff, by real viewpoint is pure self. So I am not boss to them, I am different to them. So these 2 viewpoints, and when I look within, also this helps me, that thoughts come, okay, that is relative, I am real, knower and seer. Whatever is happening at the level of mind, body, speech is relative going, I am real self, or a higher state of being, just witnessing or knowing and seeing. And the third is the concept of scientific circumstantial evidences, by which the things are happening, and I am one of the evidence. And as I told, he is right that I have sculpted my scientific circumstantial evidences when and how, when I was at the level of projection, decision, or bhav, or as you say, talking to my subconscious, deciding, I was generating this, and now when it is happening, it is the scientific circumstantial evidences of natural power which is taking over. So in the part of happenings, I am not the doer, and now I am as the pure self. And how do I live with all the people's, my patients, my mother, father, brother, sister, you all? So all interconnected, interactive, relational accounts are there. How should I be living with them? Dispose the files amicably with equanimity. This is my inner resolution. I deal as the things come, good or bad, with liking or with disliking, with this. And with that, I am aware that I should be crediting or take care of my account of pure self. So far I was taking care of bank account of Shailesh only, and everything was on the name of Shailesh, and that was to stay here, as he was saying that we are running and running and running, what is different. That's fine, let it be there. But now I am taking care of my pure self, and as I experience, nothing in the universe is out of ambit of these 5 sentences or 5 precepts. Anything can be explained by these 5. And essence of whatever you say, Ved, Gita, anything, it has become functional in life. So instead of this is not that, this is not that, it has become that this is that, this is that, or there is a clear conviction. And with this divine vision of relative and real, both remaining parallel, I think we can have everything, and it is a self-functional or self-operational science. So I leave it here. And now we are left out with 10-15 minutes. So if you have any suggestion, you can tell. But what I think is, in this part, we'll do one small experiment. That let's be with ourselves. That's to say, whatever is happening in mind, intellect, whatever memory, good event comes into memory, bad event, just know and see. Don't struggle, don't fight, don't change, don't try to do anything. Be a neutral observer. As he says, life without being examined or awareness is not a life. So here we are trying to become aware inside. I as knower and seer, as a neutral observer, just trying to observe whatever is happening within. And that will give a good experience of being with the self. And if that experience goes ahead in life events when the things are happening, for a while I may appear to be dragged into all the processes of the mind or inner things, but no sooner I get awareness, I'll step back, try to see neutrally, and that will allow me to choose an appropriate response or the awakened response as we see it. So is that fun, or do we want to do something different? Is that fun? So first we'll do 10 minutes in this session, whatever we say, whatever way you can, but I am trying to be myself as knower and neutral knower and seer, or neutral observer of whatever is happening inside. And that will give a lot of idea, as he says, that I can examine what is going on, and then it itself gives me the scope of further improvement or whatever you say. Is that fine, Rajini bhai? Yeah, we have 15 minutes. I have my watch here. So 10 minutes experiment I'm going to do, and 3 to 4 minutes to reflect back onto that. Right? So we'll just do a small sort of prayer-like thing. O pure self seated within me, O Lord, please give me the strength to be with you as neutral knower and seer of whatever is happening in relative self or the inner self. Just be as me as a knower and seer. Yes.